Most people moving to Austin zero in on one area and then never look anywhere else. And honestly, that can cost you either in money, commute time, or lifestyle fit. Because Austin isn't just one vibe. It's four completely different worlds depending on which direction you go. So today I'm breaking down all four sides of Austin: north, south, east, and west, the price points, the neighborhoods, the school districts, the traffic, and the lifestyle. By the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of exactly where in Austin you might see yourself living. I'm Nick Garcia with All City Real Estate. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, here's how I'll be defining the four sides. So we have Loop 1, also known as Mopac, and then I-35 are kind of the central spine going north and south. And then 183 and Ben White or 71 cut across east and west. Downtown is right in the middle. Most families moving here aren't focused on downtown living. So we're really talking about those outer rings where the bulk of these neighborhoods are. So let's go clockwise, starting north. So the north side of Austin is where a lot of people's searches actually start, and for good reason. As you head north on Mopac or 183, you start getting into areas like the Domain, Avery Ranch, Cedar Park, and Round Rock. And then the further north you go, especially once you clear 183A, the more the hill country starts to open up and the landscape really gets beautiful. The Tech Corridor is a massive draw up here in the north area of Austin. So you've got the Domain area, which is basically Austin's second mini downtown. It's a lot of mixed use, tons of restaurants, shopping, entertainment, very lively, and it's surrounded by major employers like Apple, Amazon, and Meta. If you work in tech, the north side is often the most logical place for you to be. And then school districts are a big conversation up here. So you got Round Rock ISD, which has a very strong, solid reputation and covers a massive chunk of the north side. Then as you get into Cedar Park and Leander, you've got Leander ISD, which has been one of the fastest growing districts in the entire state. And it consistently gets really high remarks. A lot of families end up wanting to look in Leander. So if schools are top priority, the north side checks a lot of boxes. So from a price standpoint, you're looking at a really wide range depending on where you go. Entry-level new construction in the mid 300s to 400s up in the Leander and Georgetown area, all the way up to the 800, 900s, and well into the millions if you're looking in place like Steiner Ranch and lakefront properties along Lake Travis. Those will go into the multi-millions. Speaking of which, the Lake Travis area, Lakeway, Bee Cave, Westlake Hills, that kind of bleeds between north and west. But it's one of those premier lifestyle areas in all of Austin. So we'll touch on that more on the west side section. Traffic-wise, Mopac is notorious. If you're commuting south into downtown during rush hour, budget your time. 183 is a good backup option. And then you even have Loop 360, which bleeds into the west and ends up in the north area. And then the 183A toll road towards Cedar Park and Leander has helped a lot, but just know that North Austin traffic is a real problem. The east side of Austin now has had one of the most dramatic transformations of any part of the city over the last decade. East Austin, the inner east of I-35, has gone from an overlook area to one of the trendiest, most sought after zip codes in the city. You've got neighborhoods like Mueller, Holly, Cherrywood, and Manor Road that are packed with coffee shops, restaurants, boutique fitness, murals, and some of the coolest architecture in Austin. Mueller in particular is a master plan community built on the old Robert Mueller Municipal Airport site. It has parks, farmers markets, retail, and a real walkable community that's rare in Austin. If you want that urban walkability without being in a high-rise downtown, Mueller is worth a look. As you push further east, Manor, Elgin, Bastrop, the price points drop significantly, and you get a lot more land and space. This corridor is one of the fastest growing in all of the metro area right now. New construction is popping up. Commute times into Austin are still manageable here. And most of all, you get a lot more home for your dollar compared to the west or north side. School district wise, the inner east falls under Austin ASD. Further out, you're looking at Manor and Del Valley. Worth doing your research on ratings, especially if schools are a major factor for your family. And one thing to know, I-35 borders the east side, and I-35 through Austin is well, it's a project. TxDOT has a massive expansion and reconstruction underway right now that's going to dramatically change things. But right now, it's a plain headache, so plan around it, plan your commute times accordingly. The vibe out here in the East is creative, independent, a little quirky. It's definitely part of that keep Austin weird along with the South. And if that speaks to you, the East Side would be a really great place for you to call home. South Austin has its own identity, and the people who live here will be the first to tell you about it. There's a real pride of place down in South. The Inner South, Baldwin Creek, Travis Heights, Zilker is some of the most charming established residential real estate in all of Austin. You have tree-lined streets, older homes with character, walkable to Barton Springs, Zilker Park, and South Congress Avenue. South Congress, or what we call SoCo, is an experience in itself. You have boutique hotels, coffee shops, local shops, restaurants, live music scene that bleeds right into the broader Austin identity. If you want to be close to all that, South Austin proper is where you need to be. So as you push further south down I-35 in Mopac, you get into areas like Slaughter Lane, Manchaca, Buda, and Kyle. Buda and Kyle have absolutely exploded with new construction over the last several years and more popping up. The affordability here is compelling. You can find new constructions at $300, $400, $500 that would cost significantly more on the north and west side. So these are full-on suburban build-outs with amenity centers, active HOAs, and they're attracting a ton of families who want more square footage for less money. Hayes ISD covers a big chunk of the South Corridor, including Buda and Kyle, and has received strong ratings for a growing district. As you get more toward South Austin, you're back in Austin ISD territory. Also, Dripping Springs is worth calling out separately because it straddles south and west. It's become one of the most desirable spots in the entire metro. Hill country setting, Dripping Springs ISD, which is very well regarded, and a growing, thriving local restaurant and brewery scene. Prices, of course, have gone up accordingly, but it still offers value compared to some areas closer in. Traffic heading north into downtown from Buda Kyle on I-35 during morning rush is a grind, so plan for that. And that's just the honest truth about it. But the trade-off in price and space is why thousands of families are making that call every single year. Now, the west side of Austin, and I'm going to include a little bit of southwest here, is where you'll find some of the most iconic and elevated lifestyle in the entire metro area. So we're talking Lakeway, Bee Cave, Westlake Hills, and Rolling Wood. And these are the names that come up when you're talking about top-tier Austin living and looking up the most expensive Austin zip codes. Lake Travis, we'll talk about, is a centerpiece. So whether you're on the water, near the water, or just in that hill country setting overlooking the lake, the views, the lifestyle up here are hard to match anywhere, not just in Austin, but in all of Texas. So this area where you're going to find luxury custom homes, gated communities, and of course, some of the highest price points in the entire Austin market. But it's not all multi-million dollar estates around here. Lakeway in particular has a solid range of homes and is very family friendly with great amenities. There's even some walkable parts where there's retail and restaurants. And then you have Lake Travis ISD, which is one of the most highest rated school districts in the entire state of Texas. So if top public schools are non-negotiable for your family, then this is a district to know about. That reputation drives a lot of demand in this corridor. And then if we're talking about schools, we have to talk about Eanes ISD, which covers the Westlake Hills area and then some of the inner west areas close to Bee Cave. And it consistently ranks at the very top of all the state rankings, #1 public school district in Texas. But both of these districts are major factors in why home values in this part of Austin hold so well. So as you come back toward the city from the west, you've got the Barton Creek and Davenport Ranch areas, which are along through Loop 360 that I mentioned earlier. These also sit along the Greenbelt and offer an incredible nature access lifestyle while still being pretty close to downtown. If you're an outdoor person, hiking, mountain biking, swimming, then this is a serious quality of life differentiator. So traffic on 360, which is also going under construction right now, is called the Capital of Texas Highway. It's been a known challenge during rush hour, which is why it's currently under construction to alleviate some of that. But it's a really beautiful drive. It's winding. It does back up, but I think in about a year that will change. So same story on Bee Cave Road and 71 headed toward downtown. Bee Cave Road usually flows pretty well. And then 71, where Bee Cave is been backing up a little bit as we're getting more growth out in that Bee Cave area, into like Hamilton Pool further west and then winding in towards Dripping Springs. But so ultimately it's worth mapping out your commute before you fall in love with the house out here because that is a real possibility. So there you have it, 4 completely different versions of Austin. The North for tech workers, top-rated schools, suburban convenience. The East for culture, value, and one of the city's most exciting transformations. The South for charm, community, hill country proximity, and incredible affordability as you move toward Butte and Kyle. And the West for lifestyle, lakefront living, and the best school districts in the state. Every single one of these areas has something different to offer, and the right fit really depends on your work, your family, your budget, and honestly, your vibe. So if you want to talk through any of this in more detail, that's exactly what I'm here for at Austin Lifestyle and Homes. Whether you're 2 weeks out from moving or 2 years out, let's have a conversation. You can book a call with me directly through the link in the description, and I'll walk you through the whole picture. No pressure, just straight information as you make the best decision for your situation. Until next time, we'll see you in Austin.